What's going on, you guys? It's that Mustang kid. The thermostat housing bolt snapped. I finally drilled it through yesterday with my wife. So what we're gonna do is put the thermostat housing on, put a long bolt in there and a nut at the bottom with some thread locker, because this never has to come off ever again. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum out all the metal shards, clean up the original gasket, and then we'll go from there. So let's do it. Why I'm doing this first is to make sure all these shards don't fall in. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to scratch some of this gasket maker off. Also, if you guys are afraid of getting the gasket maker inside this hole, you can leave the vacuum on, so when you scrape, it sucks up all the old gasket shavings, so that way it does not fall in that hole. I have bought new replacement bolts and one extra long one for that hole that we're gonna be putting it through. As you guys can see, it doesn't quietly go in there. So for you guys that are having the same issue with me with this tight space and you don't want to remove your intake box, I've came up with a solution, a 90-degree angle attachment for a drill, so that way I can get in here like that, put the bit in, and then go in and out, because I was not going to remove that whole thing, take all this shit off. So you guys can watch me drill this out, make it clean. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're in. Let's see if it slides right through. Yeah, that's what we want. And we're gonna test fit the housing first before we permanently put it on. Alright, here's our housing. Alright, so we got it test fitted up. It's solid. The bolt is not moving up or down. So I don't even think we need to add enough. I'm gonna just let go and let God. I've made up my mind on a plan. This looks sturdy enough to me. It's not shaking. I don't see any movement between that hole there where the mating surface is. So what I'm gonna do, take it off, put gasket maker on. I'm gonna run this bolt because when it was in there, for some reason, it was acting like it was being tightened and it wasn't moving. Hope you guys saw that in the clip. It was like really in there and it wasn't budging, and it was also holding it down. So I'm gonna go ahead, gasket maker it up, put this on, and then just pray to God this just holds, man. All right, so the gasket maker we're gonna be using is a brand called Primatex water pump and thermostat housing gasket. So hope to God this works. Let's go ahead and open her up. So we're gonna place it on and then let it dry and then tighten it up. I mean, that looks pretty good, to be honest. God, I'm nervous about this, dude. All this because of one stupid bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and do this without touching the paste. I'm gonna try to not touch the paste right now. Oh my God, I forgot to put the freaking gasket on the housing. Oh my God, dude. Alrighty, I added more silicone and I added it to the bottom of the thermostat. I'm gonna probably just get them threaded, but I'm not gonna tighten it up. Alright guys, so while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and put on all the connectors so I don't forget. But yeah, I'm nervous as shit, bro. I'm nervous, dude. Alright, see you guys in an hour. Alright, you guys, it's been a full hour. We're gonna go ahead, tighten her down. Get you guys a close up there. If this does not work and that side leaks because of that bolt, we're going to be putting in a full threaded stud. That way, what I was explaining is what we can do is put it in, nut it, and then run it through the top. So it should work just fine. We're going to go ahead and put everything back on, which is intake, hoses, and then tomorrow we'll fill it up with coolant, run the system, check for leaks. Hopefully there are no leaks, and then from there we'll go ahead and add the aluminum performance radiator. So we got the radiator hose in place. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down. Oh, that's tight, so that's one done. Let's go ahead and add our intake. Make sure you plug this in first push the red pin in so it locks into place. Now we're gonna go ahead and plug in this. This part is the fun part, but the worst part is that if this starts to spring a leak, we're gonna have to take all this shit off again. Okay, that's good. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the cold air intake. For the cold air intake, just gonna put it in this fitting, in this housing here. There. And now button it up. Plug in your vacuum line. There we go. Pull the thumb tab down and towards you. Alrighty, it's starting to look like my car I know. So we got the vacuum line on. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the intake sensor. Get your booty cheeks in there. Lock it in place. Vacuum line, mass flow air sensor. This goes here. Okay. So this is your other vacuum line. Okay, oh god. Shit. I hate these tabs. It like freaking kills your finger. Son of a bitch. Hold up. The only thing I did not do, which I should have done before any of this, was plug in. I forgot to pull that tab up, but I can probably still get in there and push it on the thermostat housing. I got that line back on. Thank God I didn't have to take off the intake. This is why you always play around with your car, so you remember what you did. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and zip that down there. Finally, this looks like the car I remember without any issues and problems. But I can't blame the car for this. This was my fault for snapping the bolt, but I did double, triple checked everything. Now we got everything plugged in. Zap that down. The gasket's looking great. So everything's looking great. Like I can shake this. I don't see it moving or anything, so it looks flush. But I'm gonna go ahead, close her up tomorrow, fill her up with coolant, and we'll go ahead, flush that. Also use this to check for leaks. We'll flush it, put in the right coolant, and then order the friggin' performance radiator, short tube headers, Shelby hood, and black paint job, and I'm done with this project right before summer. Thank God. Love you guys. Peace.